So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So I changed the device on which I'm recording this because I showed my previous videos to a friend who is also a colleague, and he told me that the video quality was very poor and the lighting was very bad and I was almost not recognizable. I don't know how is that, but yeah. So I thought I'll just record it from my phone for now, and I'll figure it out later. And something else happened, that is a viewer from YouTube looked me up on LinkedIn and he left me a message there, because apparently it's more difficult to comment here. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so it was a very nice, kind, sweet message, so thank you. And it also had a question which I'll address. That is, he told me that he noticed that I had botany optional, and in botany people have to remember a lot of scientific names, and he also said that I had a very good score in prelims, so probably I have mastered memorizing things, so something like that. It was a nice message, but he asked me whether I could leave any tips or tricks to improve on memorizing things and improve the memory, something like that. So yeah, so I thought that I'll take this opportunity to share a technique that I really use, and I use extensively, and I've been using it for a long time now. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it. It's called the Mind Palace technique, and it's a fantastic technique. And the reason being, it's also backed by evolutionary science and neuroscience. And I'll talk about the technique, I'll walk you through the technique, but if you also want to know the science behind it, that how this technique works, then there are two very good research papers, one by MIT and another by North Carolina University, and they have actually through experiments on mice and a human engineered virus, they have actually shown how this technique actually works. So both the papers are wonderful, and the research work is wonderful, commendable job. So if anybody is interested, I don't know how much this interests any of you, but if it does, then please leave me a comment. I'll surely share the link of this particular research paper. So yeah, and so now let me just talk about the technique and walk you through it. So I'll also I've made a small diagram to just demonstrate it better. I'll show that to you, but let me first tell you about the technique. And I also try to look up, look up some videos on YouTube. If there was something good, then I could just share the link, but in most of the videos they were demonstrating the technique with the help of a grocery list. So I did not find it very relatable, because I don't think so any of us now really memorizes grocery lists, right? Because I have been living alone for 6 years. I do my own shopping, I buy my own grocery, but I don't remember ever memorizing a list and going to the store. We normally keep it on the phone, right? So I thought, so those videos were not very relatable, so I thought I'll just walk you through it with something more relatable. So what better than ancient medieval art and culture, right? We have all suffered because of it, and it's so difficult to remember so many facts and dates and everything. So but trust me, this technique actually makes it very easy, and you don't need multiple revisions if you have mastered this technique. So I remember I only revised ancient medieval art and culture once before the prelims. So I have heard many people say that at least 5 to 6 revisions are required, but I don't know because of this technique or what, but I really did not need so many revision. Obviously I always have less time because of my because I'm a working professional, so I always I cannot manage 5 to 6 revisions anyway. So, and today before making this video, I also, for the last 4-5 months I've not seen my prelims notes, right? Because I just shifted to mains, and now I have the IFOS mains coming up. So but because to make this video, I just took out my notes of ancient medieval art and culture, and I was just going through it, and I realized that I actually remember a lot of it even without looking at these notes for the last 5-6 months. And thanks to this technique, because I'm still like, when I close it and I try to remember it through active recall, I actually use the memory palace technique, and it makes it so much easier. So let me tell you about this technique. Basically, in this, you imagine a place, any place. It can be your apartment, it can be your school, it can be your college, it can be your university library, or any place that you know very well, like at the back of your mind, you know it so well. So you just have to select something like that. So suppose you select a room with apartment with 5 rooms, right? And then you assign every room to something and everything in that room to some information. So let's just do it with an example. So let's just say we all have come across these questions, right? In AMAC, where they ask you, where they'll mention an artifact or a figurine, about a figurine or an idol, and then ask you where was this found, which IVC site or was it found in. And we always find ourselves like thinking, okay, where was it? Like, it's difficult because there are so many IVC sites. So let's just pick up 3 sites for the purpose of this demonstration. So let it be Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, and Dholavira. Okay, so now, and imagine a house with 3 rooms, like a drawing room and 2 other rooms. Okay, so so what we actually do in this technique is that we will assign the drawing room. Suppose I'm just giving you an example. Okay, so we'll assign the drawing room to Harappa, the bedroom number 1 to Mohenjo-daro, and bedroom number 2 to Dholavira. Now we will read what was found. Suppose in Dholavira, like we found a reservoir, and then we also found a stadium-like area and a board with an inscription of 10 digits, right? So the room that you have assigned Dholavira to, just imagine entering that room. You know that room very well, right? Because it's your apartment or your college room or something. So you imagine yourself entering the room, and you imagine looking at these things in that room. So suppose there's this bed, and you imagine, okay, there's a reservoir beside the bed, and on the other side of the room there is this stadium, and then I have this inscription with 10 big digits on the right hand side wall. So, and once you've done that, once you've placed these things where you want them to be, and then you just walk through that apartment 2 to 3 times. And trust me, once you've done it 2 to 3 times, then when you're asked this question, like maybe a week later or 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, you're asked, okay, where was the reservoir found? You have to just go back to your memory. Okay, which room did I place the reservoir in? Okay, it was bedroom number 2. So what was bedroom number 2? So yeah, it was Dholavira. So like that, this is how the technique works. Now if you're hearing about this technique for the first time, then it will sound bizarre, because it did sound bizarre to me as well. I was thinking, like, okay, how is this possible? Like, how many things will I place in a particular room? How will I remember so much information? But trust me, once you keep doing it, you keep practicing it, it gets better. You get better, you get more efficient, and your memory actually improves. So I will also show you, like, I've drawn a small diagram to help you understand it better. So I'll just show it to you also. And if anybody of you, like, if you're interested, then I'll also share the research articles which like explains why and how this works scientifically. So I'll just show you the diagram. Yeah, so this is what I want to show you. So please excuse my very bad handwriting. But yeah, so suppose these are my notes. So let's just, as we selected just 3 IVC sites like Harappa, so you can see in Harappa we found 2 rows of 6 granaries, and then a mother goddess sculpture, then dog chasing a deer, and just I'm just, for example, just pick up 3 random things from there. And then from Mohenjo-daro we found the great granary, the great bar, the bearded priest. And then for Dholavira, as I said, we found a water reservoir, and then a stadium like area, and then this inscription, 10 large side signs and all that. So now this is like a very rough and very bad diagram of an apartment. And so this is what I was trying to demonstrate, that suppose let's consider this first room as the drawing room, and then there are 2 bedrooms, right? So you imagine the drawing room as Harappa, and then you simply enter the drawing room, and then you imagine that, okay, there are 2 rows of 6 granaries, and there is this dog chasing a deer. I have drawn a very pathetic diagram, but however, so you just imagine like that. So in your mind, you just imagine, okay, on this side of the room there is a dog chasing a deer, and then there is this mother goddess figurine on, suppose there is you have a table, and on that there is this figurine, and then you have 6 granaries on one side of the room, like maybe a like you can't imagine 6 big granaries, right? But you can just imagine, okay, there is something like a showpiece which shows 6 granaries, and then you enter the first bedroom, and there you find this bed, and on the side there's this great bath, and on the other side there's this great granary. And you can for like making it a little fun, you can imagine that the priest is sitting in the great granary or something like that. And then in the other room you can imagine the bed, and on the other side there's this reservoir. So like that you have to picture this entire thing, this entire funny thing in your head, and you have to go through it again and again. And initially, when I could not get a very good hang of this technique, so what I would do, I would actually draw these diagrams and imagine it like that in my head. And very initially, like when I was probably in school or in college or somewhere. So now I don't need to do that. Now I can really just close my eyes and imagine going into my house or going into my apartment and doing these things. So please try this technique. It's really, really good. And so that's it. That's what I wanted to demonstrate. So I'll end my video now. And about my targets and achievement, I did complete the soil science note making part, and in the water science also I completed the note making part with the help of ChatGPT, of course, as I demonstrated yesterday. And I finished mugging up around 60% of it, and hopefully I'll complete it by tonight. I'm not so tired today, so hopefully I'll be able to study till 3 a.m. at least. And let's see. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow.